Hi, I'm Steve Smith, and welcome to a Wired Family Update. Beyond the sheer sadness and disbelief following the Parkland school shooting was the understanding of how parents today want to be able to stay in contact with their children during these times of tragedy. Images of crying teens on the phone with their parents and stories of parents having received text messages from their kids of their safety illustrates one of the positive issues related to the use of smartphones. There's no denying the sense of relief such text messages must have provided to these families. However, as we know, these great devices are sometimes used for inappropriate behavior by teens and for adults for that matter. You know, I try not to make these videos overtly religious. My faith might very well be different than yours. However, I can't help but think of social media, the search engines, the apps, and our ability to connect all worldly knowledge, good and bad, in some ways to the Garden of Eden. The three major religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, believe in the Garden of Eden in some way, shape, or form, whether the story's an allegory, history, or simply a means of pacifying an ancient people. The relationship between man, knowledge, and technology, and that of the tree of knowledge, that's not lost on me. The story of Prometheus, for example, who was a figure that represented human striving, particularly the quest for scientific knowledge, and then how Pandora is used to punish the world for Prometheus' act when she opens a box containing sickness, death, and many other unspecified evils to the world. Look at us today. Are there similarities? Well, I think so. In fact, today's fastest growing religion might very well be the worship of technology. Now keep in mind, I've made my entire career due to technology. So this is not a manifesto against technology, but it is a grave concern to me as a husband, a father, a grandfather, uncle, brother, and a friend. I think I'm exaggerating? Well, I'll let you decide. To that end, I want to share with you the results of a survey we recently did with teen girls. We'll do another survey with boys as well, and we have another one that's coming out in 2018-2019 school year, but which is a little more scientific. But keep in mind, what I'm going to show you is just a snapshot of how teens are using their devices. For example, we asked 200 older teen girls and young adults who were between 18 and 24, how many hours they use their smartphones. More than 70% said that they use their devices more than 4 to 5 hours per day. These are the older teens and young adults. 44% had admitted to sending nude pictures of themselves to boys. Almost 70% said that they had been asked by boys to send naked photos. And 60% admitted that boys, unsolicited, had sent naked photos of themselves to the girls. In a far smaller survey, we discovered that nearly 70% of teen girls between the ages of 13 and 19 thought that viewing porn was either very or somewhat prevalent among their peer group. And nearly 70% felt that media in general has put pressure on them to look, act, and talk a certain way. 70%, which might explain, in part, why 70% said that they often feel bad or sad due to the use of their social media to compare their lives or their bodies to that of others, be that their friends or celebrities. Perfect bodies, perfect lips, perfect butts, perfect breasts, these are sometimes obsessions with teen girls. How can a girl compete when today's companies are digitally scanning the bodies of porn stars for video games and sex robots? This technology is here. We're not talking about the future. It's here today. If not properly managed, your kids today have access to porn or a close approximation on apps typically found on teen cell phones. A sampling of such apps include Instagram, Tumblr, Yubo, Snapchat, YouTube, Reddit, and Tumblr. Are they going to cause your kid to become a heathen devil worshiper? Of course not. But they can change your child's perspective on true intimacy. These are clips from many of the same apps I just mentioned. Although not always porn, apps such as Yubo and Snapchat, you often see kids portraying themselves as older, with sexual desires and availability. Now keep in mind, you can also determine, in some instances, their location. I see these kids as crying out for help, love, and companionship. They're not getting it from home, so they turn to apps and networks. As Dr. Alexandria Katharkis wrote in her article in Psychology Today, when an adolescent boy compulsively views pornography, his brain chemistry can become shaped around the attitudes and situations that he's watching. Sadly, pornography paints an unrealistic picture of sexuality and relationships that can create an expectation for real-life experiences that will never be fulfilled. And incidentally, this is not just a teen problem. It's an issue in our marriages today. In a July 2017 article by Monica Gabriel Marshall in Verily, she cites a study by the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers who questioned 350 divorce attorneys and found that roughly 60% reported that internet porn played a significant role in the divorces, with excessive interest in online porn contributing to more than half of such cases. With the increased use of porn among our children, one must wonder, will there be marriages in the future? And if so, what are they going to be like? Pornography is a fact of life with teens today. No longer is there an age of innocence. Even if your child doesn't have a device, they're likely going to ride to school on a bus, sit in the cafeteria with friends, or hang out in homes where friends have such access. Now, whether you use the analogy of the Garden of Eden or Pandora's box, I think we all get the point. Now, in doing research for this video, I found myself really to be sad for the many children, particularly girls, that have bought into the society's premise that having the perfect body, the perfect hair, the perfect lips, the perfect breast, the perfect butt, the perfect boyfriend, and having perfect sex is going to create a perfect life. And it doesn't. Look at Yubo and some of the other friend finders, and you'll see children as young as 13, with pouty lips, low-cut tops, recording themselves if they are Rihanna or some other contemporary sex symbol. Who's responsible for this? We are. We allowed this technology to enter society without proper controls. It's not the technology, it's us. These devices are great babysitters. I get it. But what's happening to our kids? As I always suggest in my presentations, there's no better means of managing a device than to just talk with your kids. Create expectations for their behavior. Don't allow them to have these devices 7x24. Have tech-free zones in a home. In other words, don't let them take it into the bathroom or the bedroom. Set each device up so that you can only download the apps. I'm not talking about 18-year-olds, but I'm talking about 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Set the device up to filter objectionable material and websites. And select any of the number of parental controls that are out there that can help you on your parenting journey. And if you're noticing a change in your child's behavior, seek counseling for them. Your school or pediatrician can provide many, many resources for you. Now, as I've said so many times in the past, if you aren't willing to do all these things, then at least talk to these beautiful gifts that God's given you. At best, you got them for 18 years. Cherish these times. Trust me, as I've said many times on other videos, this time flies by fast. Now, forgive me for what I'm about to say, but if you don't know where technology is today and how it's going to be used, you stand very little chance of catching up. That's not on society. That's not on your children. That's on you. Now, thanks for joining us today, and please consider sharing this video with a friend or family member that you feel it might help. For more information, go to awiredfamily.org or email us at stephen@awiredfamily.org.